Yes, you can eat pizza and lose weight. It's called flexible dieting, and today we're going to talk about how it works. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Weight Loss War podcast. I am your host, Trevor, and as usual, we're going to start off with a quote. Today's is by William James, who said, "If you can change your mind, you can change your life." All right, so today we're going to be talking about one of the things that is the hardest with dieting. And it's one of the questions that we get asked a lot. Can I really eat foods I love, like pizza or ice cream or whatever, and still lose weight? And the answer is yes. The key to doing it is something called flexible dieting, or as some people call it, IIFYM, which stands for if it fits your macros. So let's break this down. What exactly is flexible dieting? Well, flexible dieting is a way of eating that will focus on hitting your daily targets for your macronutrients. Protein, carbs, fats, instead of, following strict meal plans or cutting out foods you love, you're focusing on getting those numbers. Because here's the truth. Your body doesn't know if your carbs are coming from rice or pizza. What it does know is whether you're meeting your overall calorie and macronutrient needs. So, while flexible dieting, you have the freedom to include any food as long as it fits your daily goals. I know I hit this and I hit this drum all the time. I should probably have my microphone right here. I know I hit this drum all the time. This is why we practice macros. This is why I'm always advocating for a macro plan, because you have the flexibility to do whatever as long as it fits within your macros. So, does this mean that you can eat nothing but pizza and still be healthy? Clearly not. And so, this is the next thing that we talk about, and I don't know if I've talked about this enough, but it's called the 80-20 principle, and this is where this comes in. So if you aim to make about 80% of your food choices that nutrient dense, lean proteins, veggies, fruits, and whole grains, and then the other 20% can be foods that you love, pizza, chocolate, ice cream, and you can do that without guilt. The key here is it's all about balance, portion control, and consistency. And so here's where people sometimes get it wrong. Because flexibility doesn't mean eating whatever you want whenever you want. Excuse me. It means you're making intentional choices that fit your overall goals. For example, if you know you're having pizza tonight, you need to probably keep your earlier meals higher in protein and lower in carbs and fats so that you can balance things out. Or if you know you're going to have a high calorie weekend, maybe keep your weekday calories slightly lower to keep on track. Flexibility is what is going to empower you to stay consistent long term without feeling deprived. And remember, and I'm bringing it back to the macros again, the reason that we push macros, that I advocate so hard for macros, is that once you know what your macros are and know what it takes to hit them, you kind of get an idea of what you need to do, then it's so easy to follow. You can have the foods that you like, you can do whatever you want as long as you are hitting your macros. So you're getting your protein, you're not going over your carbs, you're not going over on your fats, but you're getting the right amount. Your body is going to feel better, you are going to feel better, and psychologically you're going to feel happier. We all know how it feels to be on a diet and you can't eat what you want and you feel restricted and all you do is stare at the food videos on Instagram, drooling, and pretty soon you just can't take it anymore. This is how we get around that. We can still have the foods that we want. And we're not advocating, binging an entire weekend or an entire cheat day or any of these things. We're saying balance, flexibility, and the 80-20 rule. It's something that anyone can follow, anyone can do, and it will lead to a higher quality of life because you're eating healthier. You're doing those things that bring health and that bring health. Is that a way to say that? I can't think of the right way to say that. But that make you healthier. But you're also not giving up the things that you love. You can look forward to a weekend with friends. You can look forward to some birthday cake. You can do all of these things without the guilt because you're not binging. You are following your plan, and your plan has a built-in flexible arrangement so that you can have the things that you want in moderation. And this is the big thing. It's all about sustainability, and that's why we talk about flexible dieting. If it fits your macros, all of these things. Because it's not about being perfect, but it's about building a lifestyle that we can actually stick to. So think about that. Think about how that could affect your life. And it really is the thing that I advocate most for, is something that you can do that will help you long term and is sustainable. But anyway, that's all I have for today's episode. If this episode helped, perfect. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, comment. I love to hear it. Please send me a message. It really does help, but I appreciate all of you who are listening. And we will get back to you, talk to you guys next time.